makes the music that, but he's a hybrid because he's a hip hop artist at the same time. He's, so he can deliver.
50 Cent and Drake are two giants in the hip hop world, yet they represent vastly different eras and approaches to music and business. Their rivalry, one that has been simmering for years, came back into the spotlight in a recent interview with 50 Cent, where he took aim at Drake, Kendrick Lamar, and J. Cole. In this interview, 50 Cent shared his thoughts on the competitive nature of hip-hop, discussed the dynamics of the Drake versus 50 Cent rivalry, and gave insight into his own experiences in the industry. Drake, known for his versatility in blending rap with R&B, pop, and even reggaeton, has become one of the most commercially successful artists of his generation. His ability to navigate between genres has earned him both praise and criticism. 50 Cent, on the other hand, is a figure known for his gritty street tales, larger-than-life persona, and his role in shaping the sound of early 2000s hip-hop. 50's career skyrocketed with his debut album, Get Rich or Dead Trying, and his follow-up, The Massacres. While Drake and 50 Cent both represent success, their paths and styles are different, which has sparked endless comparisons and rivalries between the two. The tension between 50 Cent and Drake can be traced back to their differing approaches to hip-hop and their personal rivalry, but it has taken many forms over the years. In his latest public remarks, 50 Cent once again expressed his disdain for Drake, questioning the Toronto-born rapper's place in the hip-hop legacy. Drake, as 50 sees it, is not purely a hip-hop artist, but someone who has crossed over into the realms of R&B, pop, and even fashion and business. 50 expressed the belief that while Drake might be considered a hip-hop artist, his legacy would ultimately be defined more by his ventures outside of music, rather than his contributions to the genre. In a bold statement, 50 claimed that Drake would eventually end up like Diddy, an influential businessman, a mogul, but one whose musical legacy would be overshadowed by his business ventures. This perspective reflects 50's tendency to look at the commercial side of things, viewing Drake's vast empire of music, business, and branding as something that might one day overshadow his actual impact as an artist. This sentiment was especially apparent when 50 took the opportunity to comment on the ongoing Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole debates. He expressed his thoughts on Kendrick Lamar's battle against Drake, remarking that it was a critical moment for the culture. 50 suggested that Kendrick's response to Drake was initially lacking, claiming that it didn't seem like Kendrick was involved in the battle at first. However, he also recognized Kendrick's ability to rally and produce material that stood up to the competition. 50's commentary painted Kendrick as a media figure who could make his moves seem unpredictable, even though 50 was confident that Kendrick knew what he was doing all along. On the other hand, 50's take on J. Cole's absence from the battle scene was more critical. He spoke at length about how he was disappointed by J. Cole's reluctance to engage in direct competition, especially with someone as talented as Kendrick. 50 seemed to believe that J. Cole could have contributed more to the battle, and by stepping back, he missed an opportunity to prove his place among the greats of hip-hop. In 50's eyes, the culture thrives on competition, and by choosing not to engage, J. Cole was undermining his potential. J. Cole, for his part, has always been known for his introspective and often philosophical approach to rap. He isn't known for starting beefs or engaging in the type of public rivalry that 50 Cent thrives on. Cole's decision to step back from the Kendrick versus Drake drama was explained in part by his belief that engaging in the battle would hurt personal relationships more than it would benefit his career. Cole even went as far as to admit that he regretted not taking the battle seriously, but he later justified his decision in a song, Bord Antonius, where he explained that winning the battle would have cost him a brotherhood. This sentiment did not sit well with 50 Cent, who felt that such a perspective was a cop-out. He questioned how someone could both claim to be one of the best rappers and then step away from competition, and in doing so, he suggested that J. Cole had essentially disqualified himself from being in the conversation about hip-hop's greatest. For 50 Cent, the core of the hip-hop culture is competition. The idea of proving oneself through lyrical battles and direct confrontation is central to his philosophy of what the genre is all about. He believes that avoiding conflict or competition, as J. Cole did, hurts the individual artist and, by extension, the culture as a whole. From 50's perspective, stepping away from the competition shows a lack of commitment to the art form and to the fans who expect artists to be fully engaged. He didn't believe that Cole's reasoning about preserving relationships held much weight in the grand scheme of hip-hop, and he thought it was ultimately a weak excuse for not battling. However, despite 50 Cent's criticism, it's important to recognize that J. Cole's decision to avoid engaging in the beefs is consistent with his own character and his approach to hip-hop. Cole has always positioned himself as someone who values the craft of rapping over the drama that often surrounds it. His introspective and thoughtful lyrics often focus on personal growth, societal issues, and the human experience, rather than the type of street rivalry that has defined much of 50 Cent's career. While 50 might see J. Cole's avoidance of the battle as a sign of weakness, for many fans, it's a testament to Cole's maturity and his desire to avoid unnecessary drama. It's also a reflection of his belief that not all battles are worth fighting, and that the respect of his peers and fans is more important than the fleeting glory of winning a rap beef. 50 Cent's views on the rivalry between Drake and his contemporaries are also shaped by his personal experiences in the industry. Known for his early rise to fame and the way he dealt with adversity, 50's journey to success was marked by a series of high-profile battles, most famously with Ja Rule and Eminem's Shady Records. 50's knack for creating controversy and then using it to his advantage is a key part of his success. His strategic use of beefs and public conflict has often been seen as a way to boost his profile, and he's used this approach to maintain his relevance in the rap game long after his commercial peak. Drake, by contrast, has taken a more diplomatic and versatile approach to his career. While Drake has had his own share of beefs, including his infamous back and forth with Meek Mill, his strategy has been more about blending different musical styles to appeal to a broader audience. Drake's constant reinvention, his embrace of both rap and R&B, and his ability to cross over into pop music have kept him relevant over the years. However, this success has not come without its share of criticism. Many hip-hop purists believe that Drake's success in pop and R&B has made him less of a real hip-hop artist. 50 Cent's comments reflect this belief, as he suggested that Drake's future would mirror that of figures like Diddy business moguls whose musical legacies were overshadowed by their ventures outside of music. For 50 Cent, the focus is always on the music and the authenticity of the artist. He has often spoken about how business interests can corrupt an artist's true essence. For Drake, the focus has been on building a brand that extends beyond music. While some see this as a sign of Drake's entrepreneurial success, 50 views it as a way of diluting the impact an artist can have on the culture. As for 50 Cent himself, his role in the industry has been less about musical output and more about controlling the narrative. His empire spans TV shows like film production and even ventures into alcohol and entertainment. He has used his persona and business acumen to ensure his influence extends beyond the microphone. But unlike Drake, 50's business ventures are often inextricably linked to his persona as a rapper. In many ways, 50's rise to fame mirrors the story of hip-hop's transition from street culture to global domination. It is this very shift that he has embraced and capitalized on, even as he continues to criticize others for straying too far from the art form itself. In conclusion, the ongoing rivalry between 50 Cent and Drake is more than just a clash of musical styles or personalities. It's a clash of philosophies. 50 Cent represents a gritty, competitive spirit that has defined much of hip-hop's past, while Drake represents a more polished, multifaceted artist who has learned how to navigate both the music industry and mainstream culture. The debate over who is the more authentic or impactful artist is subjective, but it is clear that both have left their mark on the genre. Whether or not Drake's legacy will be overshadowed by his ventures outside of music, as 50 suggests, remains to be seen. But one thing is certain, the rivalry between 50 Cent and Drake will continue to fuel discussion and debate among hip-hop fans for years to come.